Well, it's a rainy day in May, beginning of May. Just got back from Costa Rica. No, we didn't drive there. No, just working on a house down there. But we're heading down to the Dragon meetup in North Carolina there. So we got to get the element all back together. I mean, it's bare bones from over the winter. So we've got our roof rack off. We'll take the e-bike, so we need a carrier. There's our solar water heater there, but everything else has got to go in. And we're leaving in 3 days, so we better get out of here. Bring her in. One of the first things we had to do is repaint the running boards. Our trip through the Copper Canyon pretty much tore them all up. So they were pretty much just bare metal, but a couple coats of paint on there, and they're looking good. Now the other thing we had to touch up was the roof rack. Karen took it into a parking lot that only had 6-foot clearance, and that didn't work out well. It ended up getting stuck under the beam, and we had to let the air out of the tires to get it out of there. But there was one lucky thing, that while we were stuck in the parking garage, there was a violent hailstorm outside that damaged all the cars, so we avoided that. So just a roof rack. So this is all repainted, and we'll be ready to get it stuck back on. So we have a new add-on this year. We're using the River Pro, and what we got was the additional battery. So this is going to double our capacity to about 1140 watt hours. So that should give us some extra range. Well, we've got 48 hours to go before we leave. So we got to get looking at the stuff. Here's our bins. We're just getting the stuff out. We're going to need the hardware here. First thing we need to do is get the roof rack back on. And there's all our hardware. So get out there, get on the ladders. The rack has to be quite far forward so that you can clear the moonroof. So it's extending quite a ways over. But we'll put the brackets on. Worked before, so here's the brackets that it originally came with. Had to do a little modifications because it didn't quite fit, but we'll bolt that on. Okay, good. Another high five. Okay, we're getting there. We're 1 hour in. We got the roof rack on, we got the ARB awning on, and our solar shower. So now it's time to look at the inside. Okay, got to get the seats out. Now I'm pretty sure most of you have seen this whole idea about replacing the seat bracket, which is here, with the slider. And so what we're going to do is we're just going to unbolt it and use the same bolts to bolt our slider on there for our platform. Okay, just take that out. Get rid of that. So one thing is, you do have to make a little wedge like this, because this sits on a little bit of an angle, and this counter is a counter rake, or it counteracts the angle. We also had an extra spacer block put in there because we wanted to raise our height so our toilet would clear, but we're not taking the toilet anymore, so but I think I'll put it in anyway, so we'll just bolt that back in. Now we've got it all attached back in there, and it's we'll do the other side and we'll be ready to put the platform in. Well, one thing we have to add in is our slide tensioners for our seat belts. This is used to hold the back of our platform using the seat belt. So we just clamp those on there, and that allows us to adjust it up and down in variable increments. So that's what it looks like when it's clamped on there. You can slide that up and down and it'll keep the seat belt from moving. So we do one of those on each side. So now we're ready to tackle the inside. Just put the EcoFlow on there so we could turn our lights on. Because we've got lighting inside, fog lights, first thing we'll have to do is get rid of this hatch. Remove the spare tire, it goes up on the roof. This is all our safety kit here. So what we have to do is reinstall the bottom that the fridge sits on. So we'll go and get that piece. So there's the bottom. You can see these blocks here. I drilled through the bottom of the frame and bolted them underneath and sealed them. This just sits on top of those blocks like that, and we can just screw that in. Underneath this trap door is where you put all your tools and anything you want to keep real secret. It's under your fridge, so when you really need to get at them, you probably have to take your fridge out, but that's okay. So we'll move on to the kitchen. The kitchen is comprised of 3 sections. So, one here where we have our EcoFlow, and we will be putting our new extra battery pack in here. A back section, which is a hidden compartment for securing things like laptops or money, passports, if you're in a place that somebody might break in. And this is a kitchen, well, I still got everything in there, so salt and pepper knives and dishwashing stuff. Over here is our cutlery, and all the cutlery is still in there. So all we have to do is bolt these sections together. Now that it's all bolted together, all we have to do is slide it into the back. So, and that is just a pressure fit. It's not connected at all. It's not bolted down. So that is our new EcoFlow system with the spare battery and the EcoFlow Pro. So we get 1140 watt hours out of that. And there's no reason to get into that, so it can just be left in the bin. Next thing we need is to put a fridge in. Oh, there's the fridge. Fridge just sits right down in there. We've got a built-in plug for it. So now we just have to slide our platform onto the slider, like that. And this is in daytime running mode, so this shelf would be flipped all the way back, like that. And so that makes it kitchen mode back there. And we put our cushions on here. See, there are 2 different sizes, square ones and rectangular ones, which allows more variation. pull forward, and they have legs that go down. When those legs go down, you pull your cushion ahead. Same thing over here. Pull that forward. Take your legs down. Pull the cushion ahead. And now you've got your full bed. But what's great is even though this is in bed mode, you can lift this up, put your seat belt on to hold it in place, and you can still access your fridge and all your food even when you've got it in bed mode. Bed mode. Yeah. So here we are back in daytime mode. And in this case, we have the ability to get at our food behind here. We can get at all our hidden compartments here, access everything. And our storage bins go in here. So we've got two food storage bins. We've got a butane stove, and this is our dishes. And this is miscellaneous coffee making and butane canisters. So that is our packing during the day. Got a few other things. We've got two collapsible sinks. These things are great. They're great just for carrying things around. And it's great to have two sinks because you can use one for washing, one for rinsing. But this just closes up. So that is closed for the day. Now, if you're traveling around during the day and you want to get food, you can just leave these bins up above here. And that gives you access still to get into your fridge for all your food, your picnic and whatever. And you can even your dishes right there, your stove. And you can travel with those up above. So that gives you all the variety you need. That's it. Oh, not quite. That's it. So when you're in bed mode at night, all your food bins store under here. And that keeps the animals out of them and keeps it all safe, and you're all totally enclosed in your vehicle. We kept our water bottle mounts, just an ABS coupler, a piece of angle iron bolted into the frame, holds a couple of big water bottles, and you need lots of water when you're on the road. Now for our inside console table, what I had to do was make a mount. I used this little area that where the cup holder is. As you can see, I put a bolt right through into the frame and a couple of screws at the front to hold it in place. So that's rock solid. Otherwise it would just pull out with the weight of the table. This has a block with a pin system, and that locks into that hole. First thing we're going to have to do is put our AC cord in there. And that will remain wrapped up, and we just have a little coming out, and if we need more cord we can just pull it out. I use this normally for my CPAP, so it's something that I need. And so that will go in there. Once that's in the down position, we just lock that, and that pin locks us in place so it cannot move. And then we've got a 110 AC handy there. So now we have to attach our table. The table comes three pieces: a base like this, And this base doubles as a base for the umbrella. So if you have a picnic table, you can attach this to the picnic table. Actually, we'll do it so we can adjust it from here. And this is just locked down onto that plate. Okay. And you can see, good and steady. So now we've got a base plate on the bottom of the table. Just screw our post on there. Okay. And that table can go sideways, backwards, or we can put it in between the seats, which we normally have while we're driving. So that's your console table. Our ventilation system consists of these muffin fans that are stored here, and they plug in to these USB outlets here. Okay, so that's all plugged in. That can just rest there like that. Okay, and these are the pieces that go in the window, and they just store right in the doorway like this. Okay, we do that on both sides. Those go in the upper part of the window and have a 3-speed fan, which is controlled over here. So we always run them on the highest speed normally. Now we made these compartments on the side, and this one here, we're storing our shower head in there. We're storing the bracket for it, and we put our clothes pegs and clotheslines in there. On the side's a bit easier to see. Over here we store our tent pegs and tie-down straps, and we also store our temporary light bulbs and things in there. So that's what goes on that side. The EcoFlow here can be either charged while running the car, so it just plugs in here. You get about 90 to 100 watts input. Yeah. We also have a solar panel. It's a 150 or 160 watt, and it just slides in a special compartment right under here. We have 25-foot extension cords because you don't want to be parked in the sun, and we just store them right down in there. So when we want to do our solar, we just plug in here, put the panel, move it around during the day to get the best amount of power. The other thing that we have is a heater. This is a 110 heater. But sometimes you need that. Right along this bottom edge here, we left a bit of a slot so that we can put our Korean cooking grill and our cutting board. As far as window coverings, you gotta have something to block all your windows at night anyway, and sometimes during the day, just to keep the heat down. So we just slide that in. Got a little pin here that just holds it in place. So we hang our panniers on these doors, and if we want the mirror, you got a mirror there. So we've got those on both sides. The other ones are stored underneath here, so that would be for the passenger driver window, the rear window, and the moonroof. And so those only really go in at night, or sometimes we do use the moonroof all the time. But these side ones we would keep in all the time at the back here. But we're taking the e-bikes with us, so we need to use the cargo rack. They weigh 70 pounds each, so just put this on. But the other thing we have to do is change the license plate. Don't want to get it for having an obscured license, so we'll just put her on the back here. Ready for the road. So we're ready to put the e-bikes on into the carrier. We just have to tie them down. Now get the e-bikes all tied down here. Got everything up on the roof here. So we got our spare tire, we got our table, umbrella, a couple lawn chairs, the room for the awning, and got a spot there for our water bottle that will fill up and tie down there. Looks like we're all ready to go here. So it's on to the Dragon tomorrow morning. So we'll see you guys all there. Looking forward to it. Cheers.